Escorts of our seniors, please meet under the St. Mary's side basket. Escorts of our seniors, please meet us under the St. Mary's side basket. Escorts of our seniors, please meet under the St. Mary's side basket.
So it's our one senior day, we want to make sure we put down for the rest seniors. Oh, yeah. Okay, so listen, I don't know the exact numbers. Meet your group right there, and we're going to open up our backs will be to the board data. We're going to hand these out and get them flowers. So if you was a limited report party, you're just playing that in there, you're like, this one's yours. And the other thing you would do like, mark out. So we don't have anything for the record. Okay? Good?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Senior Day. We would like to take this time to recognize the 5 seniors that are a part of the Southern Virginia University men's basketball program. First up is Kellen Winslow. He is escorted by his wife Emily Winslow, parents Greg and Janine Winslow, brother-in-law and sister Zach and Tori Pika, and Greta Ghosh. In his 4 years as a Knight, Kellen has played in 84 games. He served a mission in Sofia, Bulgaria, and is double majoring in psychology and history. He will attend graduate school in the fall. Kellen said this on his time here at Southern Virginia. Playing basketball at SVU has been an amazing experience. I want to thank my wife, Emily, for her constant support and love. I will always be grateful to my teammates and the fans who have supported us. Lastly, I want to say thanks to my parents and siblings for always believing in me. Go Knights! Coach Winslow said the following about Kellen. If there was such a stat, Kellen would be the SVU record holder for sacrificing his body. He always competed to the fullest and left it on the court. His energy and enthusiasm will be missed. Let's hear it for Kellen Winslow. Next up is Michael Newfill, escorted by Vice President Charlie Brown and his wife, Claire. In just 2 seasons at Southern Virginia, he has played in 49 games. Michael served a mission in Las Vegas, Nevada, and is majoring in business. He plans on becoming an entrepreneur. Michael said this on his time here at Southern Virginia. Having the opportunity to play basketball for SVU has been a blessing, and I will never forget it. I want to thank the coaches and trainers for all they have done for me. I wasn't sure I would be able to play my senior year, but all things are possible through God. Special thanks to Charlie Bowen for being my mentor and a father figure. So thank you, SVU, for a great experience. Coach Winslow said the following about Michael. We wish we could have had Mike here for all 4 years. He has made several big shots for the Knights, but the biggest was a 3-pointer to beat CNU at the buzzer his freshman year. I'm glad he came back for his senior year. Give it up for Michael Newfill. Next is Brandon Caputo, escorted by his wife, Tara Caputo, and mother, Tammy Caputo. Through 4 seasons with the Knights, he has played in 49 games. Brandon served a mission in Federal Way, Washington, and is majoring in business and wants to become a private business owner. Brandon said this on his time here at Southern Virginia. I am grateful for the opportunity to play basketball for SVU and for all my teammates. I am very thankful for my family and wonderful wife, Tara, for all of their constant support. Coach Winslow said the following about Brandon. Nobody has spent more time in the barn than B. He started as a young ball boy and developed into a 4-year player for the Knights. He's always been a great example both on and off the court. His toughness and never quit attitude will be missed. Let's hear it for Brandon Caputo. Next is Alec Johnson, escorted by his wife Elizabeth Johnson. Seasons in Southern Virginia, he has appeared in 73 games. He served a mission in Comayagua, Honduras, and is majoring in business investment. He plans on attending grad school. Alex said this on his time here at Southern Virginia. SVU will always be my home. There are countless people to thank, but I want to mention Coach Caputo for recruiting me, Coach Winslow for always believing in me, my teammates who became my best friends, and especially my parents and wife Elizabeth for their constant support and allowing me to chase my dream. Coach Winslow said the following about Alec. Alec will not be able to be replaced by one person. His versatility has allowed him to play 4 different positions during his career. He has always been someone his teammates and coaches could count on. Give it up for Alec Johnson. Last up is Tyler McCready, escorted by Bishop For the past 3 seasons, he has played in 58 games for the Knights. He served a mission in Orem, Utah, and is majoring in biochemistry. He plans on attending dental school. Tyler said this on his time here at Southern Virginia. Getting the chance to play basketball at SVU has been a dream come true. I want to thank Coach Caputo for bringing me here and Coach Winslow for all he has done for me. A special thanks to my parents for making this SVU experience possible. Coach Winslow said the following about Tyler. Tyler has been a great teammate and very coachable. He has improved every year and become dominant at times. His presence in the program will be hard to replace. Let's hear it for Tyler McCready. Let's hear it one more time for all of our seniors. Your attention, please. Welcome to the Knights Sports Arena at Southern Virginia University for today's men's basketball matchup featuring the Seahawks of St. Mary's and your Southern Virginia University Knights. President Wilcox and the Southern Virginia staff, thank you for your support of the student athletes and coaches participating in today's contest. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, they ask you to respect the following SVU athletic rules. Cheer loudly and proudly for your team, not against the visitors. No profanity, vulgarity, racist or sexist remarks. No personal remarks towards players, coaches, or officials. Show that you know the game. Stay away from the playing area and team bench areas. Zero tolerance for alcohol and tobacco use at all contests. Thank you for your cooperation, and go Knights! In accordance with tradition at Southern Virginia University, we will begin with a word of prayer, which will be offered by Jared Banks.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank Thee for this day. In this time we have to come together and enjoy the sport of basketball. We ask that all the players can be healthy and no one will get hurt. We're grateful for all the time that we have here, and we ask that we can remember Thee every day in our lives. We say this in Jesus Christ. Amen.
Now, if you will all please rise and face the flag for our national anthem.
It's game time, folks, and welcome to the barn for the CAC matchup between the Seahawks, of St. Mary's and your Southern Virginia University Knights. I'm here, Dawson Weidrich with Chris Fly, to bring you your starting lineups for today's matchup.
And Dawson, starting up for the Seahawks of St. Mary's is number 1, Reggie Roos.
Number 5, Phil Newsom.
Also joining him, number 5, Phil Newsom.
Number 13, Zach Spooner.
Starting off in the front court, number 13, Zach Spooner.
Number 15, Justin.
Joining him, number 15, Justin Milstead.
Forward, a 6'1" freshman, number 22, Naheed.
And to wrap things up at number 22, Naheed
Seahawks
John.
are coached by Chris Carney and assisted by Solomon Zurier, Matt Howerton.
Yeah, it should be a very fun matchup today, as these St. Mary's and SVU has matched up before. Now bring us our starters for SVU, Chris.
Now starting.
And Dawson now starting for the Southern Virginia Knights. Again, it's senior night here tonight, and Coach Greg Winslow has put that into account.
6'2" senior from Ventura, California.
Starting first, he's Coach's son, defensive powerhouse, number 11, Kellen Winslow.
At guard, a 6' senior from Buena Vista, Virginia.
Joining him from right here, his hometown of Buena Vista, Virginia, number 12, Brandon Caputo.
At guard, a 6'3" senior from Bluffdale, Utah. Number
Also joining him, a great distributor of the ball, number 32, Alec Johnson.
At center, a 6'10" senior from North Bend, Washington.
And then rounding out things in the paint, number 44, Tyler McCready.
And then forward, a 6'6" senior.
Joining him, Tyler McCready down in the low block. One of the unsung heroes of this Knights team has a great stroke from deep, number 45, Michael Newfield.
Like you said, Chris, Coach Winslow opting to start all the seniors tonight that were honored just for game time. If you tuned in early on, the seniors were honored with team photographs as well as commemorative statements about their careers here at SVU and the great things they have done while here in beautiful Buena Vista, Virginia, in this great arena. As we look to get things started for this CAC matchup here, SVU's last regular season game.
Dawson, last regular season game before they get started in tournament play. Anything can happen in a tournament. This team has shown throughout the season that they have the capability to hang in there with those big teams. Lost only by 3 against Christopher Newport, who's a nationally ranked opponent. So this team has the ability to put it together. Just need to finish in those closing and crucial minutes.
And it'll be a huge boost to them to get this win here today as these seniors have their last regular season home game here in the barn in Knight Sports Arena. So Michael Newfield will jump for the tip-off.
Dawson, I love the fact that all the seniors are starting for the Knights tonight.
And jumping against will be number 22, Naheed John. Michael Newfield gets the tip, and Naheed John will get to it. And it looks like we're going to have to... a little bit of confusion here. Coach Winslow saying that Naheed John, since he was tipping it, wasn't allowed to just simply go and run for it, but it'll stay with the Seahawks. Reggie Roos at the top of the key, guarded by Brandon Caputo. Naheed John on Tyler McCready. The three-pointer, that'll fall for number 13, Zach Spooner.
Zach Spooner, not exactly known for his three-point shooting. He does decent at it, but the best three-point shooter that the Seahawks have in their squad is number 14, Matt Ayoub. Averages well over 40%.
Alec Johnson tries to respond with a three of his own, but just a little bit too far. And he'll get the block foul called on him, as number 1, Reggie Roos, was trying to run up the court and set up his offense. And so that'll make number 13, Zach Spooner, inbound the ball for St. Mary's. Reggie Roos with it now. Caputo defending. The Seahawks looking for a little bit of pick and roll action. And they'll get it, but it's taken away by Tyler McCready.
I really like that play, the defensive stand. As soon as number 22 for the Seahawks, Naheed John lost a little bit, and all night Schwone been able to get that ball.
Now in the corner with Kellen Winslow. It was tipped out of his hands, but he recovers it. Dribble drive, the fade away with the left hand, no good. Rebounded by Tyler McCready. Tries to get inside to Michael Newfield, but Newfield not expecting the pass, so it'll go out of bounds.
Well, Dawson, Newfield not expecting the pass because Tyler McCready and Michael Newfield were standing right next to each other. No need to pass that ball. You have a couple of defenders on your back. Turn and go up with it. You're probably going to get the foul card on you. You live and you learn. It's on to the next one for the Knights.
Now Knights trailing 3-0 early on in this first half. Johnson defending. Reggie Roos into the paint. To Naheed John. And a massive block by Michael Newfield as number 5, Phil Newsom, was trying to get into the paint. That electrified this crowd.
Playing like it's your last game, Dawson.
And with that, Michael Newfield not able to convert on the other end. But again, a massive block on the other end. A three-point attempt, no good. For the Seahawks, rebound by Michael Newfield. That was Zach Spooner on the shot.
And that last block by Newfield will give Phil Newsom something to think about next time he drives in the paint.
Because Michael Newfield has those long arms that are so intimidating to shoot against Tyler McCready. Try to pass it down to Michael Newfield, but that's a turnover for the Knights. And a missed layup by Phil Newsom. Knights have the ball back. Brandon Caputo resetting the offense. Nice pass to the inside of Tyler McCready. Try to use the body, but no good. Ball back to the Seahawks. Roos with it. Three-pointer by Newsom, no good. Rebounded by Tyler McCready. And so the Knights and Coach Winslow will call a timeout as first few offensive possessions haven't been able to produce anything yet.
Well, Dawson, they need to call a timeout because the Knights are just giving up wide open threes. They're only going to Zach Spooner so far. Spooner so far only points on the night with that three-pointer earlier in this first half. But the Knights on offense, they're just not getting it done. They're playing frantic, frazzled. Maybe the jitters of senior night coming into play a little bit. You saw Tyler McCready down there in the low block. No need to pass, and then when he had another opportunity to take the shot, he elected to pass over the top, and that got the ball stolen. You need to slow down. You have the positioning and the space that you want. Take it.
That is absolutely right, Chris. And also there's just been a lot of missed opportunities for the Knights. Those passes that have a wide open area, but the passes were inaccurate, led to turnovers. But the Knights have it now, being down 3-0. Brandon Caputo will be at the top. Alec Johnson with it now. They try to get into the paint to Tyler McCready, but it doesn't work. Number 5, Phil Newsom with it now. Roos for 3, and that'll fall for the Seahawks. Make it 6-0. Caputo working against Roos. Retains possession. Johnson gets it inside of Tyler McCready. There'll be a foul on the floor called on number 22, Naheed John.
Reference to just say that Naheed John hooked Tyler McCready back. It didn't allow him to get to that pass from Alec Johnson. I like the call by the refs.
We have a substitution now for the Knights. Jameer Cross coming in for senior Tyler McCready. And so that'll put Michael Newfield down at the post and Jameer Cross on the outside. Inbounded to Kellen Winslow. Nearly taken away, but he gets it out to Jameer Cross in the paint to Newfield. And that goes up and in. The left-hander from Newfield.
It all started with a great hustle play by Kellen Winslow. Almost had the ball stolen from him. Indeed did. Able to tip it out to Jameer Cross and open up something for his team.
Newfield working on Naheed John. The three-point attempt. And that'll fall for number 15, Justin Milstead.
You can't give them the space. You cannot give the Seahawks that much space to get the three off. No one's really driving the ball. You saw Phil, I believe it was Phil Newsom, try that early in the game, and he got absolutely swatted. That's going to get into the minds of the Seahawks. You need to protect the perimeter. That's your first priority.
Kellen Winslow, the jumper. That's short. Rebound by Alec Johnson. Put back up. No good. And rebound by Brandon Caputo. Back to the top to Brandon Caputo. Winslow in the corner for 3. And that'll fall. Make it 9-5.
Great play, Kellen Winslow again. He got open. Great ball movement by Caputo and Alec Johnson. Able to get the open 3.
It's now over a timeout now by St. Mary's after that 3-point in the corner from Kellen Winslow, son of Coach Greg Winslow, here on senior night. 4-point deficit, and again, being senior night, this is the last regular season game that you have in Knight Arena. So if you're one of those seniors, Chris, what's going through your mind in this game?
Well, being in that situation, it's your last home regular season game here in the barn. It's your senior year. You want to ball out as much as you can. You want that ball in your hand at every single opportunity that you have. You just want to make an impact, hopefully in a victory for your team, whether it be scoring, defending, assisting. Overall, because different players have different ways of thinking about the game. If you're a player who likes to take over the game, and you're senior on your last home game, you can do everything you can to do everything on every side of the ball. Other players might focus on one thing, being an assist guy, being the scoring guy. You want to go out leaving everyone here at Knight Arena a memory of who you are and what you left and gave to this program.
You definitely do, Chris, and you just saw there that Trey Dill checked in. Looks like he'll be checking in for Michael Newfield. Trey Dill, the freshman who's had so many impactful moments, has a great outside range, does some great rebounding work for a time in the season, led the team in rebounding. He's just a very scrappy player that will be very beneficial for this Knights program in the next few years.
And Dawson Morton, he's the second leading scorer on this Knights team. Averages 10.6 a night, averages 7.8 rebounds a night. The thing that impresses me most, he's a larger forward. And a lot of large forwards get their points on second chance opportunities or for being wide open for an assist. Trey Dill makes his own shot. A majority of his points come from driving in and taking mid-range jumpers.
As that shot is made by Nahid John, number 22, against Trey Dill. Jameer Cross at the top of the key. Corner to Caputo, instantly met by two defenders. Cross in the corner for three. No good, too short. Rebounded by number 15, Justin Milstead, who goes coast to coast. But it will not go in. Looks like the foul will be on number 24, Trey Dill.
We mentioned Trey Dill as a scrappy player on the offensive side of the ball. He's also a very scrappy defensive player. Has the ability, I guess, the flaw of picking up fouls extremely quickly.
And so now Milstead will be attempting two free throws. First one up and good. Take a 12-5 lead. We also have some substitutions for the Seahawks. Number 14, Matt Ayub.
Dawson, this is the player the Knights look out for. Number 14, Matt Ayub. They've been trying to get the three-pointer to fall right now with Zach Spooner. Matt Ayub has the most takes on the year for his squad, well over 200 attempts at a three-pointer, and he shoots 43%. He's such a dangerous weapon from beyond the arc. Doesn't do much else besides facilitate, but expect him, as soon as he gets the ball and has any amount of space to pull up the three-point shot, to pull the trigger.
As that second free throw is good. And we also have another substitution, Ben Weebush. And Austin Wood checking in for the Knights, and now point guard. Austin Wood has put in some great minutes for the Knights this season, this being his sophomore season. Alec Johnson to Kellen Winslow in the corner. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. And a wild play that ends up resulting in a turnover for the Knights as the shot clock was winding down, and the Knights just had to try to do something.
Had to try to do something, and Austin Wood lost control of that pass. Started to go out of bounds. Only thing he really could do was try to save him from going out of bounds. Probably could have, and in the heat of the moment, you don't really think of this too much about throwing it off the legs of a defender. In hindsight, probably should have done that, but again, you live and you learn, move on to the next one.
Jameer Cross defending. Nahid John dribbling the baseline, fade away. No good, rebounded by Alec Johnson. Alec Johnson trying to get the pass into Jameer Cross, who's making a cut down the baseline. But he'll stay with the Knights. We also have number 32 checking in for St. Mary's, Derek Kearns, the 6'7" forward from Cumberland, Maryland.
Just trying to add a little bit of size and length.
Alec Johnson on the inside, inbound pass from Kellen Winslow for two. Bring it within 6. Weebush now, Austin Wood defending. The wild layup from number 14, Matt Ayub, goes in. Austin Wood's sister, Amanda Wood, actually was a big part in the Knights, a women's Knights team's victory earlier today in this doubleheader.
She was the leading scorer in that one, had 18 points.
And now that one looks like to be a foul on number 0, Ben Weebush. And so Kellen Winslow, the senior, will go to the line. First one up and in. Bring it within 7.
And Kellen Winslow already has 4 points on the night.
Second free throw is good. Now we see another substitution for Kellen Winslow, number 21, Jaron Anderson. Anderson, the sophomore forward from Cottonwood Heights, Utah, has some great offensive potential in any game that he comes into.
Well, Dawson, Jaron Anderson's a through-and-through scorer. That's what he does. Every time he gets the ball, he's looking to get that isolation play and put 2 on the board for his team.
Weebush just given a little bit too much space, knocks down the jumper, make it 17-9. Looks like there'll be a foul on number 0, Ben Weebush. Now Alec Johnson will be inbounding it for the Knights. Anderson in the corner. Tries to Jameer Cross on the cross, or on the cut, I should say, and there's a travel called on Anderson.
No one came to Jaron Anderson's aid there. You saw Jameer Cross making a cut in. They tried to get it to him. What needed to happen there, you saw the low blocks on Anderson's side wide open. You need one of those post players, whether it be Trey Dole or anybody, to go run in that position. You'll give Trey, or instead you give Anderson an outlet pass he can look to.
Seahawks working with it now. Trey Dole on defense, that's no good by number 32, Derek Kearns. Knights have the ball now. Johnson kicks it out to Jaron Anderson for three. No good, too short. Rebounded by number 5, Phil Newsom. That'll be a traveling call. Looks like we got number 5, Phil Newsom. We'll have a timeout here as the Knights will have possession.
Dawson, Knights have done a great job in the last couple of minutes of defending Silks. Yes, they've gone on a little bit of a run, a scoring run. But that all comes down to your offensive side. You need to cut down the turnovers. Just so far in this game, the Knights have 5 turnovers compared to the Seahawks 2. You need to take more care of the ball on the offensive side, and you limit some of those transition points and transition fouls that you have to pick up when you lose the ball.
Definitely the good defense by St. Mary's has turned into easy offense on multiple occasions. And they're also hitting a lot of great deep shots. I mean, you see the three-point shooting for St. Mary's right now. They've hit 3 of 5 for 60%. And the Knights have only made 1 of 4. And so those three-point shots are definitely being a big benefactor to this lead that St. Mary's has built early on.
Big lead. The Knights only shooting 1 of 4, so 25% from the Knights and 60% from the Seahawks from beyond the arc. Those all came relatively early in this first half. The Knights have done a good job so far of defending that, but it needs to step up just a little bit more. The only, like I said earlier, the only way that they're scoring so far is off those fast breaks. They're getting opportunities at the line and from there.
And you see your Spirit squad for Southern Virginia University. They've appeared multiple times today in our doubleheaders for both men's and women's basketball at Southern Virginia. So now to break the timeout huddle, the Knights will have the ball. Jaron Anderson inbounding. Austin Wood will run the point. He'll be defended by number 0, Ben Wybush. Looks like Jaron Anderson stepped out of bounds. We'll see number 4 for SVU, Sam Armstrong, check in for number 32, Alec Johnson.
That's the second straight turnover by Anderson in that part of the floor. He needs to be more aware of his surroundings and what his feet's doing.
Jameer Cross defending Wybush. Trey Dill defending the post. And that one's up and in for Derek Kearns.
A really good soft touch, had one-on-one between Kearns and Dill, and just Kearns got the upper hand on that one.
Armstrong with it. Brings to the top of the key. Jameer Cross dribbling in. He tries to throw or thread the needle along the baseline to Austin Wood, but it's kicked out. But I believe number 32, Derek Kearns.
We tried to throw it in between the legs of number 4, Jordan Alston, trying to get it to Austin Wood on the opposite side of the court. Just it didn't work out for him, but it did take the better of the two options and went out of bounds off Alston.
So checking in for the Knights, number 44, Tyler McCready, in for Jaron Anderson. Shot clock winding down. Armstrong for 3. No good. Rebound by Tyler McCready. He puts it up and in with the right hand.
Dawson, I really like that matchup down low. Number 32, Derek Kearns, 6'7" against Tyler McCready, who's 6'10". I want that matchup every single time. I say it every single time Tyler McCready's on the floor. He has the height advantage and he has the low post skills to get it done.
As Tyler McCready gets a steal up ahead of Trey Dill. Try to get in the paint, Tyler McCready, but a quick turnover for the Knights. And that's up and in for number 14, Matt Ayub. So it was once a fast break opportunity for the Knights, turns to points for the Seahawks. Three-pointer no good for Trey Dill, almost tipped in by Tyler McCready. And eventually ends up with the Seahawks. And they're going to call the foul on Sam Armstrong. The crowd not liking that. They felt like Armstrong had a clean block, but nevertheless, he'll get the foul call.
Well, Dawson, the referee started calling that foul before anything even happened, determined to call the foul against Armstrong. And in the end, it was a pretty clean block for Armstrong. Not saying that he has something against him, but the decision was made for the foul before the play even happened.
And that first free throw is good for number 15, Justin Milstead. Making an 11-point lead for St. Mary's. And number 22, Naheed John, will check in for the Seahawks. Second free throw up and in. We'll also have another player checking in, number 13, Zach Spooner, as the Knights have possession. Austin Wood hesitated for a second and then got called for a travel. And so the ball will go to the Seahawks, and Brandon Caputo will check in for Austin Wood.
Coach Windsor's just telling Austin Wood, make a move and beat your guy off the dribble. You have the ability to do so, so why not?
Roos defended by Caputo. Naheed John getting the pass to the paint, and ends up in the hands of Sam Armstrong. Jameer Cross dribbling baseline. The reverse layup, up, no good, just barely rolled out. Great athletic play by Jameer Cross. On the other end, no good by Reggie Roos. Rebound by Tyler McCready.
Dawson, there's been a lid on the bucket so far for the Knights.
Jameer Cross retains what was almost a disastrous turnover. Armstrong to Trey Dill. Caputo to Cross for three. No good. Rebounded by number 4, Jordan Alston. Layup up and no good. Eventually rebounded by Tyler McCready. The Knights down by 12. Caputo in the corner. Armstrong wanting the corner three. Shot clock winding down. McCready on the inside, up. No good, but he'll get the foul call.
What a great pass by Jameer Cross, though. You saw down the low blocks, Tyler McCready had the position, I believe, over number 22, Naheed John. Naheed John, Tyler McCready was on his back. He had the position, so Jameer Cross, knowing that, drives in on John. And Tyler McCready's wide open there for the dish. A great pass and great knowledge by both players to know where each other are.
Two players checking in for the Knights right now, Kellen Winslow and Michael Newfield, as Tyler McCready's first free throw falls, making an 11-point deficit. And Kellen Winslow will come in for Trey Dill, and it looks like Michael Newfield will check in for Tyler McCready once he is done with his free throws. Second one underway. Make it a 10-point game.
Also checking into the game for Southern Virginia is number 45, Michael Newfield.
So indeed, Tyler McCready will come out in favor of Michael Newfield. We'll see Alec Johnson check in for the Knights. Roos the dribble drive. Kicked out to John. And that'll be a good two-point jumper for number 22, Naheed John.
John just wide open right there, basically the free throw line. Should have made it, did. Knights need to do a better job of coming out on that.
Knights setting up their offense. Jameer Cross dribble drive, corner to Winslow for three. He ends up on the ground, but no foul call. Rebounded by Michael Newfield. Corner three again for Kellen Winslow, and that one will fall. Kellen Winslow talking to the ref, saying got touched on both shots.
And Dawson, I think that's the reason Kellen Winslow even took the second shot to begin with. Knew he had the opportunity to get an arm right across his. Went up to try to get 3 opportunities at the line. I don't think Kellen Winslow expected to make that shot at all.
Number 22, Naheed John, guilty of the offensive foul. And Alec Johnson will check in for Sam Armstrong. And we'll have a timeout here as the Knights have whittled this lead down to 9.
Dawson and Knights just need to keep playing the way they're playing. On the defensive side, forcing those mistakes with their constant pressure, and then providing the defensive pressure in the first place to get those blocks, to get the steal. You're forcing what the Seahawks did to you basically in the first couple minutes of this first half, making you make mistakes on the offensive side. And then on the offensive side for the Knights, they're converting. They're getting to the line when they're not making their shots, and then they're making the shots that count. Great way to turn things around for the Knights. Still a lot of room to go. You're shooting right around 30% from the field, only 25% from three. These numbers can and will go up if you continue this momentum.
They absolutely will again as the Knights have continued to whittle down halfway through this first half. And we see some great play from both sides. The Knights still having problems with turnovers, having problems with ball control. So they just need to limit that in order to make sure that they can build back into this game. Although the Knights are out rebounding the Seahawks 13-8.
You have the height advantage down there. You have the height advantage, and there's so much chippiness on this Knights team, so that fire to go get the ball with Trey Dill, Michael on their stat line. They think that they are so much better than you and getting the ball. They're going to prove it every single time on the court, and I love that fire that they show. If they can just translate that into the defensive side of the ball and the offensive side scoring-wise, then this team is basically unstoppable. They just need to find it within themselves and then become the hero that they think they are.
Knights with it, a quick turnover as Brennan Caputo tried to get it to Kellen Winslow. And the easy layup for number 5, Phil Newsom. So right out of the timeout, a quick turnover for the Knights. Michael Neufeld on the wing. Despite Neufeld's size, he is a dynamic three-point threat, and he's shown that multiple times this season with some clutch shots that he has hit. Shot clock winding down. Winslow for three. No good. Rebounded by Neufeld. He lost it, but he gets it again. Goes up. Gets his own rebound again. Up. No good. Eventually rebounded by the Seahawks. And a good layup by number 14, Matt Ayub.
Dawson, I want to know how there were no foul calls down there against Michael Neufeld. Bodies flying into him every time he got the ball. And like you said, he has a great stroke from deep. He's a typical stretch four, but he's so much more than that when he's good to convert.
As Alec Johnson knocks down the and one. Bring it back within 11.
Basket is good, and the foul is on number 32, Derek Kearns.
Number 32, Derek Kearns, is the one who's guilty of the foul. And that's his first. Bringing the amount of fouls for the Seahawks to 6. That free throw no good by Alec Johnson. Rebounded by number 14, Matt Ayub. Corner three. No good. Rebounded by Kellen Winslow.
Dawson, I think it needs to be said, the bench point differential between these two teams. The Seahawks have 10 points off their bench. Knights have none.
Michael Neufeld almost getting the under the basket chance. Tries to save it back to Jameer Cross, but tipped out of bounds. Oh, it appears to be number 13, Zach Spooner. Alec Johnson inbounding to Brandon Caputo. Cross to Winslow. Johnson the 2. And that's going to rattle out, no good. And fought for by Michael Neufeld. Looks like they will call the foul on Michael Neufeld.
That's an interesting call because Michael Neufeld's making a play on the ball, and it looks like he got his hands on the ball, or at least around it, before his body came in. So could have gone either way. Could have been a jump ball call or a push. Referees decide to make it a push. I don't exactly agree with it, but I think it's a great play by Michael Neufeld.
As Trey Dill checks in for Brandon Caputo. Kellen Winslow defending on Roos. Dribble drive. Up and no good by number 13, Zach Spooner, but the foul will be called on Jameer Cross.
Foul is on number 23, Jameer Cross, his first personal.
And that's his first of the game. That'll bring the team total for SVU to 5.
Zach Spooner is in the line, shooting 2.
On the left side of your screen, you'll see Jaron Anderson checking in. As number 13, Zach Spooner will attempt some free throws. First one up and good. And Jaron Anderson will come in for Jameer Cross, who just was guilty of the foul. Second free throw underway for Spooner. Up and good. Make it 31-18. Anderson with it, dribbling in. Looks to be a foul on the floor on number 14, Matt Ayub, as Jaron Anderson was trying to dribble into the paint.
You saw that right on Jaron Anderson made that hop step. I believe they're called a number 14, Matt Ayub of the Seahawks. Just put his body into him, a little bit too much contact for the ref's liking. A great work, though, by Jaron Anderson to take the hop step and hop into him.
First free throw up, no good. Rebounded eventually by Jaron Anderson. In the paint to Michael Neufeld for two.
Love that quick pass by Anderson, finding Neufeld. A couple of Knights trying to get their hands on the rebound. Saw Trey Dill right there, almost got a complete hand on it. A great way to convert for two for the Knights.
And the easy bucket for number 32, Derek Kearns, as he had the backside cut wide open. Make it a 13-point game. Winslow tried to get into the paint to Alec Johnson, but he was double teamed, and that was not going to go in there. Out of bounds, Knights ball. So again, Knights retain possession. Kellen Winslow inbounding for the Knights.
Kellen Winslow, leading scorer for the Knights team so far, is 8 points on the night, 1 rebound and 1 assist.
Winslow top the key. Anderson. Johnson with the drive. Anderson for three as the shot clock winds down. Off the rim, no good. Rebound by Trey Dill. It'll reset the shot clock. Anderson driving in, baseline floater, and that'll go.
Attribute that entire point to Trey Dill. Able to tip it up, having the rebounding and awareness to be able to go get that ball and give his Knights another opportunity.
Reggie Roos top the key. Dribbling in against Kellen Winslow, no good. But looks like they'll call the foul on Kellen Winslow. And that sends number 1, Reggie Roos, to the line. On left side of your screen, you see Neil Davis and Tyler McCready checking in for the Knights. First free throw is up and good. We also have number 5, Phil Newsom. And number 22, Naheed John, checking in for the Seahawks. So second free throw underway. Second free throw is good. And Jameer Cross will check in for Jaron Anderson. Jameer Cross to the point. Neil Davis trying to get in the paint. It's Tyler McCready, and it'll be hit out of his hands by number 14, Matt Ayub.
Nothing really Neil Davis could do at that point. He was trapped in the corner. No one really coming to his aid. See if the Knights get them started. Entering the final 15 seconds of the shot clock.
Neil Davis with it. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Mike Johnson dribbling in. Up with his right hand underneath. No good, but he's going to tip in his own shot. No, it'll not go in. Rebounded by number 15, Justin Milstead. And the foul will be on number 10, Neil Davis of SVU.
As soon as Milstead rebounded, Neil Davis put his hips into him, tried to defend him. Ref's going to call that every single time.
And so with just under 4 minutes left to play in this first half, the Knights find themselves down by 13 with a immediate timeout. And Coach Winslow can discuss things with his players. So a lot of great opportunities that the Knights can't take advantage of. It's just passing has been an issue. Not as many turnovers so far since the last timeout, but it's just been much of a struggle. Nothing's been running smoothly for the Knights.
nothing running smoothly except rebounding. They're out-rebounding the Seahawks 19-12, so not fantastic numbers, but also 10 of their 19 rebounds have come from offensive rebounds, and they haven't given St. Mary's any offensive rebounds. They're doing a great job on that aspect of the floor, limiting offensive rebound chances for St. Mary's. Well, you see the points in the paint differential. Seahawks have 14 points in the paint, 14 out of their 35. Knights have 10 points in the paint. They're guarding well one-on-one. When they have the opportunity one-on-one, the Knights usually win that matchup. It's when they lose track of their man and start trying to play hero ball, meaning guard whoever has the ball, even if it's not your assigned man, where they get lost. And then it's wide open opportunities for the Seahawks right down to the paint. Again, if you're the Knights, slow down. Slow down on offense and defense. Know where you are on the court and know where your man is on the court, and then you're going to be fine.
One thing that you can credit SVU's defense with is that they've really limited St. Mary's three-point attempts since early on in the game. Early on in the first half, St. Mary's getting wide open three-point attempt after wide open three-point attempt. But since then, the Knights have been able to lock down those outside shots. And instead, St. Mary's has resorted, like you said, to great post play.
Dawson, it's less of defending the shots extremely well. It's more of limiting those shots. St. Mary's just shot 6 threes tonight. They made 3 of them. That's 50%. So they're shooting a good percentage, but the Knights haven't allowed them to take those shots. And that's what you need to do. Limit the chance before it even happens.
That free throw is no good, but number 15, Justin Milstead, Knights with it now. Neil Davis dribbling in. Up, no good. Rebound by Tyler McCready. And he'll be fouled on the way up by number 5, Phil Newsom. And so he'll get 2 free throws.
First personal, team's 8th foul. Tyler McCready to the line, shooting 2.
And Dawson, they give Tyler McCready 8 rebounds on the night. He has 8 rebounds and 4 points.
First free throw is up. And it rolls in. Give Tyler McCready 5 points. Second one underway. Off the front of the rim, no good. Eventually rebounded by Reggie Roos. Ayub dribbling baseline, the pass out. It's number 15, Milstead. Nate John with the screen. They're going to call a block on Neil Davis on a play that looked like just beautiful defense.
He was right into him, had the correct positioning, hands out, Neil Davis. I don't agree with that call at all, Dawson.
And so that'll send number 15, Justin Milstead, to the line yet again. The first one's up and in. Sam Armstrong will check in for Neil Davis, who now has 2 fouls.
Well, Neil Davis picked up those fouls in really quick succession. One on the other end of the floor was the obvious foul, and then the last one, which just looked like great defense, like you said, Dawson.
Second free throw is up and in. Make it 37-23. Jameer across the corner for Johnson. Wanted the 3, but decided not to. And the paint to Trey Dill, who goes up, no good. And hit out of bounds by Tyler McCready.
Knights just not able to finish in those opportunities, but they're right underneath the basket with no one really on it. Trey Dill, he was up there all by himself. Granted, there were people near his feet that might have thrown him off just a little bit, but you need to convert on those opportunities.
In the paint to number 32, Derek Kearns, and it's up and good for the Seahawks. McCready up with the left hand, and that'll roll in. Give him 7 points.
And I like that play by Tyler McCready. Did you see the look in his eyes there? As soon as he got the ball, after coming off some criticism from Coach Winslow, as soon as he got the ball, no hesitation, just throwing behind him. He didn't care. Full head of steam to the basket. I love that kind of play from Tyler McCready.
And a travel will be called to number 5, Phil Newsom, as he had the hesitation step, and it'll go back to the Knights. Inbounded by Alec Johnson to Jameer Cross. Just 2 minutes left in this first half. Armstrong, top of the key, deep three-pointer. Will go in! A great clutch deep three by Sam Armstrong, exactly what the doctor ordered.
Deep three with the defender draped all over him. Really surprised he even took that shot, had the confidence to do so, and obviously it paid off.
Seahawks with a chance to respond. Ayub with it. Reggie Roos wanting the three. Tipped away by Tyler McCready, but teammates fighting over it, caused falling hands of Kearns, but Tyler McCready will get the rebound in the end.
Just got to talk, got to communicate. Who's going to get that ball?
Tyler McCready missing the wide open dunk. It'll go back to the Seahawks. Blocked by Trey Dill, but they're going to call the foul.
That's unbelievable.
As number 15, Justin Milstead, made his way to the floor. The fans of SVU not agreeing with that call whatsoever, and we don't blame them.
Well, no, did you see how high Trey Dill got on that block?
Felt like Trey Dill's hand was at the top of the square on the basketball hoop. Many people expressing their frustration with that last call as Milstead will attempt his first free throw. That one's up and in. Justin Milstead attempting his second free throw. After that, he now has 10 points. Trey Dill on the outside, trying to go baseline. Gets it out to Johnson. A three-point for Trey Dill. Will be good! Make it 40-31. A single-digit game.
Right back in it, Dawson. Great work by Trey Dill. Didn't get what he wanted on the defensive side. Took his shot on the offensive side and made it count.
With 36 seconds left in the first half. Kearns working on McCready. Swatted out of his left hand, but it'll stay with the Seahawks. Some tough post defense from Tyler McCready as we see number 10, Neil Davis, checking in for Trey Dill. Neil Davis had 2 quick fouls last time when he was in the game. We'll also have number 13, Zach Spooner, checking in for number 15, Justin Milstead for St. Mary's. Inbounded by Ayub. Reggie Roos defended by Jameer Cross. And tipped out of bounds by Neil Davis. We've seen stuff like that all the time here at SV, or I guess I should say, a Knight Sports Arena, where Neil Davis just flies out of nowhere to disrupt the play. Reggie Roos, 5 seconds to the shot clock. Not able to get off a clean shot, and so that's no good. That'll be a shot clock violation on the Seahawks. So the Knights will have the ball, and Trey Dill will check right back in for Neil Davis. Trey Dill has that shooting ability that Neil Davis hasn't quite gotten, and so Trey Dill will be in there for outside shooting ability. Jameer Cross with it. 13 seconds left in the half. Johnson to Cross. Trey Dill for 3. No good. Rebounded by St. Mary's. And now end the first half where the Knights came back to be within 9. At one point they were down by 14. And so the Knights again will be down by 9 going into halftime. We see some great work from multiple Knights here. Kellen Winslow has 8 points. Tyler McCready with 7. Alec Johnson with 4. Michael Newfield with 4. All these players that have come in, there's been a total of 7 Knights who've gone on the scoreboard today. And then for St. Mary's, Justin Milstead has 10 points. 9 of those, well, 7 of those, coming from the free throw line as he's made his way to the free throw line multiple times so far in this game. And here in just a second, we'll have Chris with Coach Winslow, and here's Chris with Coach.
Coach Winslow, rebounding has been a big part of your team's success so far. How much is it going to impact in the second half?
I think rebounding always has an impact, but unfortunately we've been singing the same song the last few games. We have got to make some baskets. We have missed so many two-footers and just bunnies, and you know, you just can't keep missing those shots. And the guys are trying. It's not like they're trying to miss them. I think our effort's good, and we just got to make those easy shots. They work so hard to get them and not executing them, and that's why we're in a hole.
And we've seen a lot of points from the paint from the Seahawks team, especially when your guys are out playing defense on someone else. How do we limit the possessions down in low blocks for the Seahawks?
Well, I think really what's happening is our guys are containing the dribble, and what our postmen are doing, which they're not supposed to. They're coming over to help, and they're making that little dump-off pass to the postman, and he's getting some easy layups. We've talked about that. They're not supposed to be coming over. We're trying to make their guards make a tough contested shot, and our post guy, I think just by human nature, he just keeps coming over. Mike and Tyler, they need to stop doing that. We need to make their guards make a tough shot so we can clean up the rebound.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. I'll let you join the guys. And Dawson, back to you.
Thank you so much, Chris. And again, that'll do it for the first half of this CAC action between the Seahawks of St. Mary's and your Southern Virginia Knights. We'll be right back in a few moments for some halftime analysis, and we'll also bring you the second half. We'll be right back.
Everybody pay attention. Now everybody pay attention. Even Trump got to take a knee.
perimeter defense, but then they found another way to score, being that in the Seahawks, down low in the paint, drawing out the big men of the Knights, and then little short dump passes, like we talked with Coach Winslow about getting easy points for the two. Seahawks shooting extremely well from the field. I believe it's over 50%, right around 52. And the Knights, the opposite story, not shooting very well at all from the field. Low 30s, high 20s. Knights need to find a way to put the ball into the basket and get points on the board if they want any chance of staying in this game.
They started picking it up, though, later in that first half, and also they did really well with rebounding. You talked to Coach Winslow about that, how the Knights have done a really good job of hitting the boards, playing scrappy ball. Like you said, it's just been shots going in. That's been the tough thing for the Knights. And we also talked about how, I guess, the Seahawks only get to the free throw line very consistently, especially with talking about one of the players, I believe it was Melville, I believe was what his name is. He got to the free throw line 9 times, 7 of his 10 points from the free throw line. And so the Knights need to make sure they limit fouls and limit their opportunity, or the Seahawks' opportunities to get to the free throw line.
And Dawson, that can be solved with doing what Coach Winslow told me at halftime. If you're a big guy down in the paint and you have your guy on the low block, instead of drifting away from him and going towards the ball handler, stay with him. Because when you have that short little dump pass, your immediate reaction is jump off my feet and try to get the block. You're going to get a foul called on you most of the time because your arm is coming across the shooter and he sends him to the line. So if you just
And we're back for the second half between the Seahawks and St. Mary's and your Southern Virginia University Knights. Before this starts, we want to give you a little bit of updates here. Today, the men's lacrosse team had their first home game against Pfeiffer University, the Falcons, and they won that game easily, 24-10. Did a great job in their season home opener. Also got some indoor CAC track championship updates for you. Freshman Bailey Moitala is now the CAC shot put champion, and senior Derek Blasco is the CAC shot put champion as well, and he set the school record of 15.51 meters. And with that, we'll start the second half. The Knights with the ball. Winslow in the corner. Off the foot of number 13 for St. Mary's. That is Zach Spooner.
But also just going by what you're saying, it seems like it's been a successful couple of days here for the Knights, and an successful day for the Knights in overall. Lacrosse getting their first win of the season. The women's basketball team had a pull-out win against St. Mary's. Looking for 3 straight if this Knight team can get it together and pull it out through the second half.
Yeah, and saying that as Trey Dill knocks down that baseline jumper, pull it within 7. The closest it's been for most of this game. That's an easy jumper for number 15, Justin Milstead. Bring it back to a 9-point deficit for the Knights. Caputo with it now. And your starters for the Knights through the second half are Brent Caputo, Alec Johnson, Kellen Winslow, Trey Dill, and Tyler McCready. And Tyler McCready gets a nice 2-pointer. Great assist from Kellen Winslow.
Love that play, Dawson, just going strong to the cup, right through the much skinnier number 22, Naheed John.
Naheed John up against Tyler McCready and swatted out of bounds by Tyler McCready.
If Tyler McCready, just keep riding this momentum, right? You've had a great offensive showing in your last one, fighting through the tough challenge, and then on defense able to get the block. You need to believe that you're the best. Do that and keep playing the way you're playing.
Defending in the paint is Trey Dill. Blocked by Trey Dill and rebounded by him. And Naheed John came down with his arm on Trey Dill and will draw the foul.
22, Naheed John.
We'll have some substitutions for the Seahawks. Number 4, Jordan Alston, and number 30, Derek Kearns.
And Dawson, that's the third foul on Naheed John. So one more, and he's in significant foul trouble. Just in a little bit of trouble right now. But still plenty of time left to go in this game. We'll probably see him again before the end of the night.
Alec Johnson running the point. Brandon Caputo on the corner. Dill for 3, and that's good. Trey Dill has 8 points now. Only person who has more than him is Tyler McCready with 9. And he's also tied with Kellen Winslow for 8. Spooner, top of the key, hands it off to Roos. 10 seconds on the shot clock. And that'll be a turnover. Go back to the Knights. The Knights within 5. And a timeout taken by St. Mary's. The Knights starting off the second half very strong.
Well, Knights just whittling away at the lead right now, only down by 4. One more shot, and it's a one-possession game. Technically a one-possession game right now, but we all know what that means. A three-pointer and an and one. That doesn't really happen too much in the game of basketball. But if you're the Knights, you're playing extremely well on both sides of the floor. You're playing that stiff defense, not allowing them to get opportunities at the basket, and then you're converting on your own shots. Trey Dill, you saw with a great 3, and then a deep 2. Keep playing your hot hands. Trey Dill has a number of points. Tyler McCready has shown us that just at the beginning of this second half that he's a force to be reckoned with. Pass it down to him. He's going to draw at least the double team. The Seahawks have to double team Tyler McCready down low in the paint. If they don't, they're going to get burnt and the entire night. And the double team comes, someone's got to be open. You got the hot hand, Kellen Winslow, Trey Dill, pass it out, and you'll get some points.
Absolutely. Tyler McCready starting on the second half really well. And thank you for correcting my math earlier, Chris. I said it was a 5-point lead for the Seahawks. Indeed, it is only a 4-point lead. Very reachable for the Knights right now, who at one point down by 14. So the Knights battling back after some deficit and some disadvantage in the first half. To battle back to be in this position. The Knights will have the ball out of this timeout after the turnover. And looking forward to seeing the Knights continue to whittle away at this deficit.
Well, Dawson, they're on track to do so far. See if they can continue the streak they're on, keep playing their brand of basketball. Be interested to see what the head coach of the Seahawks, Chris Harney, does to try to break this momentum streak.
The Knights also trying to get this last regular season win for their seniors here today. We honored all 5 of them before the game. For those who didn't join us before. Trey Dill top the key. He's on fire right now. Winslow top the key. And the paint's McCready up with the right hand and in. A nice spin move from McCready and a nice touch on the right hand.
The soft touch is what you really got to look at. Yeah, it was a great spin move. Most people know how to do that, but most people don't know how to go up and just lay it up with just a soft fingertip touch.
There'll be a foul on number 11, Kellen Winslow. And many people wanting a foul on number 4, Jordan Alston, who looks like to be pulling Kellen Winslow away.
Well, Alston just had his left arm hooked around trying to pull Kellen away from the ball. It's a great defensive move. It's just illegal. You can't really do that.
And a block from Tyler McCready, recovered by Kellen Winslow. Blocked number 32, Derek Kearns. Caputo to the corner to Trey Dill for 3. And that'll be in! Trey Dill now with 11 points. Him and Tyler McCready are tied.
11 points and 3 of 5 shooting from beyond the arc. So Trey Dill, and he's hit 2 just in the last couple of minutes. Keep feeding that hot hand.
And the Knights take the lead for the first time, well, it feels like forever in this game, as Tyler McCready gets another block, and Kellen Winslow recovers it again.
See, at this point, you just got to say, poor old Derek Kearns. Kearns hasn't been able to get anything past McCready so far.
Johnson to Caputo. Hit out of bounds, and looked like it was last touched by Trey Dill. So the Knights have a 1-point lead, and some substitutions. Complete squad swap as they enter in number 0, Ben Wybush. Number 14, Matt Ayub. Number 5, Phil Newsom. and number 22, Naheed John.
Just trying to find some kind of answer. Putting in Naheed John seems like he matches up a little bit better with McCready, a little bit longer down there than maybe Kearns is. See if this new squad for the Seahawks can get it done, but the Knights playing great defense so far. And just as I say that, Dawson, look what happens.
Justin Milstead getting the unorthodox layup to fall. And just like that, Milstead will be called for the reach-in foul. Milstead trying to argue his case with the ref. And that's Milstead's first foul. And we'll also have Jameer Cross checking in for the Knights, and we'll have a media timeout. The Seahawks take back the lead, but the Knights still in striking distance.
And Dawson, I want to talk about St. Mary's just for a little bit. Their leading scorer not playing tonight, that being Spencer Schultz, averages 18.5 points a game, also leading rebounder with 7.6. A number of players for the Seahawks team have scored. A number of players have played, but Justin Milstead, we haven't mentioned his name hardly at all, but he's been making such an impact. He has 14 points on the game. He leads scoring for both teams with 14 points. Just completely under the radar. Doesn't draw a lot of attention. Gives the ball up when he has to, but somehow he's found his way to the line. And that's the majority of points that he have come from the line. Like you mentioned, 7 and 9 from the foul line. He's able to drive in, and with doing that, with drawing the foul, you take away focus from yourself because you're not posing an immediate threat to the defense when you just get fouled all the time.
That is very true. Like you talk about some great free throw shooting, great job getting to the line, which, believe it or not, is a certain skill that some people are able to get. Just getting to the free throw line, selling the foul. Milstead obviously having that ability here today as the Knights again find themselves down by 1. And Seahawks basketball. Actually looks like the Knights will have possession. And Kellen Winslow will be inbounding it for the Knights.
Also another substitution for the Knights. Jameer Cross coming into the game for Brandon Caputo, just trying to add a little more shooting, a little more scoring edge on the court now.
Also more athleticism. Alec Johnson at the bottom of the paint. Trey Dill deep 3. And now a foul. Trey Dill is on fire.
That's 3 threes in a row for Trey Dill. Someone's got to mark this man.
He's got 14 points so far today, and there's still 15 and a half minutes left in the second half. The three-pointer, nope. Wybush, rebounded by the Seahawks. Mills guarded by Jameer Cross. Ayub run in the corner. Tipped up in the air. Almost tipped in. Off of Tom McCready's hands, but tipped in instead by number 14, Matt Ayub.
People there were so focused about getting the rebound coming off the box that they didn't bother to box out. You just see number 14. That's Matt Ayub. Just simple tip in.
Kellen Winslow trying to get it into Tyler McCready, but goes right through his hands as he was making the cut to the corner.
Knights trying to play a little frazzled, little hustled. After that, the Knights can't dwell on any plays. I think they dwelled on that last play where Ayub had a simple tip in. You gotta forget. You gotta forget the bad things that happen and move on to the next one as if nothing happened.
And Sam Armstrong checks in for Kellen Winslow. A three-pointer by Naheed John, no good. Rebounded by Trey Dill. Alec Johnson, top of the key, dribbling in. There'll be a foul on the floor here. Looks like number 14, Matt Ayub.
Foul is on number 14, Matt Ayub, his second, team's third foul.
And so that'll be the third foul for the Seahawks and the second for Ayub.
Ayub, the second leading scorer for the Seahawks team with 8 points.
Alec Johnson inbounding. McCready on the baseline. Jumper is good. Making a 4-point lead for the Knights.
McCready has 13 points on the night, so 13 points, 10 rebounds. McCready has picked himself up a double-double.
Wybush at the top of the key, guarded by Armstrong. Nice baseline cut. But taken away by the Knights. Ends up in the hands of Sam Armstrong. Johnson for 3. No good. Rebounded by number 5, Phil Newsom. And the foul will be called on Tyler McCready.
Foul is on number 44.
Well, also some substitutions for the Seahawks. Number 1, Reggie Roos. And number 13, Zach Spooner.
Seahawks, number 1, Reggie Grouse, and number 13, Zach.
That last foul call on Tyler McCready could have really gone to any three of the Knights. Tyler McCready, Trey Dill, or Alec Johnson. Just referees decided to get it to Tyler McCready. That's his first on the night, so no big hurry. But if you're the Seahawks, you're trying to target him right now because he's the guy that is changing the play so far.
And Tyler McCready with the rebound, the layup, no good. But number 14, Matt Ayub, we couldn't tell if Tyler McCready got a hand on it or not. Jameer cross to Armstrong in the corner, dribbling baseline. And that'll be a turnover. He rushed it that time. Reggie Roos with it. Out to the corner to Ayub. No good. Rebounded by Alec Johnson. A pass from Alec Johnson. He tried a fancy pass at first. It didn't work out well. He got back behind the pass. No look to McCready. My goodness, as now Ayub attempts another three. That one falls short. No rebounding for the Knights right now. But somehow covers it.
See if Alec Johnson can remake the magic he made on the last possession. Bad pass, looking for Tyler McCready, able to get it back, and then somehow gets it back to McCready behind the back.
We have several signs here at SVU that call Alec Johnson Magic Johnson, and he definitely showed why there on that last pass.
I was just about to say something about that, Dawson. Definitely showing his great passing ability there.
That's a good layup by number 13, Zach Spooner. They pull back within two. We have multiple Knights checking in. Number 45, Michael Newfield. Number 11, Kellen Winslow. As Alec Johnson takes to the top of the key. Trey Dill blocked by Naheed John. Red Juice to the corner to Ayub. Three-pointer will fall that time. And the Seahawks take back the lead.
Well, that's the first three-pointer that Ayub has hit tonight. He's gone 1 of 4 so far in the night.
Number 14, Matt Ayub, guilty of the foul as Winslow and Newfield will check in. You know, it seems to me that a lot of these guards for SVU are just bound and determined to dribble that baseline and try to kick it out from there.
Looks like Tyler McCready's just going to get a little bit of a breather now. Michael Newfield coming in for him.
Newfield top of the key to Trey Dill. Johnson for three. And that'll be good. The Knights take back the lead, 53-51.
Knights lighting it up from beyond the three-point line so far in this second half.
Hearing the chants of Magic Johnson here in Knight Sports Arena as a foul here on Michael Newfield. That'll be a second foul. That's a timeout here on the floor. Again, the Knights have a 2-point lead, playing extremely well offensively in the second half.
They've really picked it up, Dawson, coming into this second half. Just great things happening. We mentioned the three-point shooting for the Knights. That last shot from Alec Johnson, they're now 7 of 18, shooting 38.9%. They've picked it up so much because you think at the beginning of the second half, they were shooting deep into the 20s. And same thing with field goal percentage, deep into the 20s, high 20s, late 30s, or early 30s. And now they're 41.3% from the field and 38.9% from the three-point line. This shooting streak, they need to continue it and keep it going as long as possible. And now's the time to pull away from the Seahawks.
And a big part of that, adding to the momentum of shooting, was Trey Dill with his 3 straight three-pointers. That just lit this arena on fire. And then, of course, Alec Johnson had to pull the magic out of his pocket with that amazing pass to Tyler McCready.
And Tyler McCready leads both teams in scoring. He has 15 points. And then Trey Dill and the Seahawks, Justin Millstead, tied for second with both 14 points. We see 2 Knights now in double figures. Kellen Winslow 2 points away, and a number of other Knights getting on the scorecard. Compared to the St. Mary's Seahawks, where they've only played, I believe, 9 players, and 8 of them have gotten on the scorecard. Justin Millstead really leading that charge. Next up is Matt Ayub with 11 points, most of them coming from easy layups down to the paint. So if you're the Knights, you're holding 2 guys right now. You're holding them. Guard them. Keep doing what you're doing. It's going to be all right.
Absolutely. And if you're wondering how good CAC basketball can get, this game is a perfect example of that as number 15, Justin Millstead, makes his way to the free throw line for the Seahawks. The first free throw is up and good. Millstead has now shot 10 free throws today. And that second one will fall. Well, with that, he now has shot 10 free throws. He is 8 of 10, 80% from the free throw line. Jameer Cross with it. Johnson top of the key, Milstead guarding. A nice pass to Trey Dill. Kicks it out to Johnson, who kicks it in the corner for three. Trey Dill, no good. Rebounded by Milstead.
Trey Dill still hit 3 of his last 4 three-point attempts.
Nice rebound from Michael Neufeld. Number 13, Zach Spooner, missed a 3. Tie game, 53-53. And then I call a charge on Alec Johnson. And so now the Seahawks will have the ball. Coach Winslow yelling to his teammates to trust each other with the offense and get things going. As now number 13, Zach Spooner will inbound it to Reggie Roos. Tied at 53. And a quick foul against the Knights, number 23, Jameer Cross.
I would say Jameer Cross was holding his man, trying to get over the pick.
Maybe got tangled up a little bit in the mix as Milstead inbounds it to Roos. SVU fans cheering for the defense. Kearns up and blocked by Michael Neufeld. It has not been a good half for Kearns. No good layup for Kearns. Rebounded by Michael Neufeld.
Dawson, I think that's the 4th straight time that Derek Kearns has been blocked on his way to the basket.
Alec Johnson top of the key. Trey Dill to Kellen Winslow. To Jameer Cross. Jameer Cross for the 2. And that's good. The Knights take back the lead. Coach Winslow wanting a foul but not getting one.
That's Jameer Cross's first basket of the night. His first 2 points.
The 3-pointer by Milstead is good. Jameer Cross with the top of the key. Kellen Winslow to Cross. The dribbles in left side. That's up. Rebound by Neufeld. Up with the right hand and in. Take back the lead.
Great play by Michael Neufeld with the dominant rebound, getting it with both hands, just putting it up.
Milstead taken away by Trey Dill. The jumper for Trey Dill off the backboard and in. And that gives Trey Dill 16 points on the night. 2 points away from his career high.
You heard Coach Winslow, as soon as Trey Dill stole it away, he said, be safe, be safe. Don't do anything crazy. Trey Dill just looking for a little floater off the back of the glass.
And the offensive foul, number 13, Zach Spooner. All the momentum in the world is on the Knights side right now. Over timeout here by St. Mary's, as SVU takes a 3-point lead.
They take a 3-point lead, and a number of Knights getting on the scorecard. Great play all around by Trey Dill. He's really carried this team so far, and like you said, Trey Dill with 16 points, Tyler McCready 15 points, and another number of other Knights, proving that they are dangerous weapons and just demanding all the attention from the Seahawks defense. Can't let any one guy get any space, or he's going to hit it in your face.
And he's also doing great defensive work like the last steal, as number 13, Zach Spooner, was trying to get into the paint to number 5, Phil Newsom. And so again, players like Trey Dill, Tyler McCready, Kellen Winslow, Michael Neufeld, all these players doing the scrappy work on the defensive side and rebounding and keeping the team in it. And Alec Johnson have some great work as well.
Really are, but Dawson, the Seahawks are really missing the contribution of their number 23, Spencer Schultz. Spencer Schultz, 6'7", he's a junior, 205 pounds, a forward down there in the low blocks. The majority of his points come from down there working one-on-one in those post plays. They're missing his productivity on the offensive and defensive side because the post players for the Knights so far, when it's post player matched up against post player, the Knights have taken that matchup every single time. And you have to, if you're the Knights, you have to consider yourself lucky that Spencer Schultz isn't there. Yes, you have a number of guys that can take him on one-on-one, but his absence is really giving the Knights an edge and the Seahawks a big disadvantage down there in the paint.
As now we break the timeout huddle. The Knights will have the ball. Alec Johnson will inbound. And on the floor for the Knights is number 24, Trey Dill, 45, Michael Newfield, 23, Jameer Cross, number 11, Kellen Winslow, and number 32, Alec Johnson. The Knights send up their offense. Reggie Roos defending Alec Johnson. The corner to Jameer Cross, who dribbles baseline. It goes up. Michael Newfield with the rebound. Up his left hand, no good. Eventually rebounded by Reggie Roos. Corner three for Ayub. No good. There's going to be a foul called on Kellen Winslow.
Really interesting foul call. I thought it might have been a travel call down there in the paint because I don't know exactly who was. I believe it was number 13, Zach Spooner, driving in, lost his balance and took 4 or 5 steps. Really interesting call there by the ref, and the no call there on the travel.
Corner for Ayub, dribbles the baseline, the floater, no good, rebounded by Newfield. Michael Newfield now with 9 rebounds. Newfield for 3, no good off the right side. As Kellen Winslow tried to go after it, but it will be out of bounds on the Knights. Make no mistake, Michael Newfield is capable of knocking down those big threes.
Absolutely is, but I think what's wrong with that last possession, he took it too quick. You're going to get that opportunity another time. Yes, you had it open. Was it open as maybe you would have liked it to be? No. Take your time. You got a full 30-second shot clock, and then find a shot that's more makeable.
Another block by Michael Newfield on Naheed John, but Naheed John goes up anyway with a 2.
I believe it was 2 straight blocks by Michael Newfield, once up in the air and once down by the waistline of Naheed, but Naheed just able to get it back and put it right back up.
Alec Johnson and Jameer Cross. The screen from Trey Dill, baseline. Gets out to Michael Newfield, gets back to Cross. Cross with the right hand up and in. Making a 3-point lead yet again.
Cross could have very easily dished that down to Michael Newfield because he had Naheed, John, and Spooner both up in the air. But just great work to fight through the contact, put it up for a good 2. Knights take a lead even further.
Naheed John with it now. Zach Spooner, top of the key. Left hand, no good. Rebound again by Michael Newfield. That's his 10th rebound. Jameer Cross working against Reggie Roos. Alec Johnson now. Newfield working on John, no good. Trey Dill going for it. And it's going to go out of bounds on the Seahawks. A great effort from Trey Dill.
He gives that to you every single time he's on the floor. Always a great effort shown by Trey Dill. I think unfortunately for the Knights, the guys on the floor are starting to get a little bit tired. They've been in for a couple of minutes now. This time I'll definitely help them get a breather, but maybe Coach Winslow needs to find another guy he can put in similar to the aspect of the guys on the floor now.
And with that, we'll have a timeout, and just then, Tyler McCready checks in for the Knights in place of Michael Newfield. And we'll hopefully take that rebounding that Michael Newfield has been doing to the next level.
Absolutely, to the next level. Tyler McCready has 11 rebounds, and you said Michael Newfield has 10. Tyler McCready also has 15 points. Tyler McCready has shown the ability to not only draw the attention of the Seahawks, but fight through it. He'll be double teamed every single play, fight through it to get it up for an easy 2 or dish it out. I like the addition of Tyler McCready into this. I think Michael Newfield added a great rebounding and defensive presence. Tyler McCready looks to add the same presence on the rebounding side of things and on defense side, but add that offensive artillery that he has.
It's so nice as a coach to know that you have 2 big men you can put in there to get blocks all the time and rebounding. I mean, that just, I don't know, it takes so much stress away from your defense. You have to make sure you get rebounds and get the ball back for your offense, and Michael Newfield and Tom McCready provide that.
And Dawson, we mentioned this a lot about Michael Newfield. Not the tallest guy, 6'6", short for that forward-centered position. But he has such long arms. His arms might even be longer than Tyler McCready. And Tyler McCready's 6'10". So he's a great defensive player. Why? Because people don't expect it. You look at him and you're just like, oh, he's 6'6", I can shoot over him. Then that long arm comes out of nowhere and absolutely swats it back in your face.
Now Reggie Roos for the Seahawks has it. The Knights up by 3. Just under 7 minutes left to play. Naheed John guarded by Tyler McCready. Milstead to the corner. Abe the floater, and that'll go in. Make it 61-60. Jameer Cross handling it now. Trey Dill in the corner. Alec Johnson now. Jameer Cross the deep 2, off left side. Bunch of Knights diving for it. Trey Dill and Kellen Winslow included. But number 5, Phil Newsom for St. Mary's will have it. And it goes out of bounds on Naheed John.
We saw number 5, Phil Newsom, had it on the break, didn't want to go against Tyler McCready again after what Michael Newfield did to him in that first half. Elected to try to find John. John just not ready for it. Way behind Naheed John. Great work by the Knights defense of just being there, of getting into the head of Phil Newsom and electing him to pass.
And Jameer Cross and Alec Johnson at the top of the key. Jameer Cross far side. Screen from McCready. He goes up with the right hand and almost gets it in. It looks like the foul be on number 22, Naheed John. Indeed it will be, and they'll send Jameer Cross to the line to shoot 2.
And that's the 4th foul for Naheed John. So Naheed John in some serious foul trouble, and he's really the only one so far that's shown the ability, at least somewhat, to match up with Tyler McCready and Michael Newfield. The other one they had is Derek Kearns, and we've seen what Derek Kearns has done tonight for the Seahawks.
First free throw good for Jameer Cross. We'll also see Jaron Anderson come in for a very exhausted Trey Dill. Second free throw is good. Make it 63-60 in favor of the Knights. Reggie Roos with it for the Seahawks. Roos almost attempts the 3. Gets to Ayub, who attempts the deep 3. No good. Rebound by Tyler McCready. And Tyler McCready will get his 12th rebound. McCready to Cross. And number 15, Justin Milstead, will be guilty of the foul. And he'll send Jameer Cross to the line again.
And that's Milstead's second foul of the night. He has 19 points on the game. Again, most of those points coming from the foul line. In fact, 9 of his 19 have come from the foul line.
And timeout by St. Mary's before the free throws from Jameer Cross. The 1-and-1 free throws, I should say. As the Knights still have a 3-point lead.
Dawson, I just want to take the time and say this is not the same team that St. Mary's saw last time they faced off against the Knights. Last time the Knights faced off against the Seahawks, they lost 92-62 at St. Mary's. So St. Mary's came into this game expecting one thing, and the Knights have shown them a completely different thing with the way they've been playing so far.
Absolutely. In the second half, the Knights have outscored the Seahawks 32-20. And have just done a tremendous job defensively, shooting-wise. I mean, everything you could possibly want in a half, the Knights have done it so far.
Well, the Knights have already scored the same amount of points that they did last time against St. Mary's, and we still have 5 minutes left.
So the Knights will leave their timeout huddle, and Jameer Cross will attempt the 1-and-1 free throws. And again, I want to mention it is senior night for the seniors in this squad. Those being Kellen Winslow, Brandon Caputo, Alec Johnson, Tyler McCready, and Michael Newfield. Their last time playing in Knight Sports Arena in the regular season. Free throw number 1 is up and good. And Trey Dill will come in for Kellen Winslow.
Trey Dill didn't get too much of a break there.
No, Coach Winslow knowing that his team needs him, he has 16 points on the day. The second free throw is up and in. Jameer Cross, perfect from the charity strike. Reggie Roos defended by Alec Johnson. And a foul will be called on Trey Dill.
Fouls on number 24, Trey Dill, his third.
That's Trey Dill's third foul of the night, Dawson.
Opposite Matt
It's hard to tell what exactly the foul was. But regardless, it'll send number 14, Matt Ayuk, to the line.
Into the game for the Seahawks is number 4, Jordan Alston.
We'll also have number 4, Jordan Alston, check in for the Seahawks. The first free throw of the 1-and-1 is good. Second free throw underway. And that one's up and in.
Also checking in for the Seahawks.
Now number 13, Zach Spooner checks in for number 14, Matt Ayub. Trey Dill and Jameer Cross breaking the full court press. Johnson top of the key. He's guarded by Naheed John. And the pass just too high from Tyler McCready. Intended for Alec Johnson.
Tyler McCready he was trying to get to Alec Johnson, but he had to get it over the head of Trey Dill. There's too much arc on that pass, goes out of bounds.
Reggie Roos top of the key. Zach Spooner, guarded by Jaron Anderson. Milstead dribbles in the floater, no good. Somehow rebounded by Milstead with the left hand and in.
It just came off the hands of multiple Knights and Seahawks players, just fell literally into the lap of Justin Milstead.
Trade to work with it, middle of the court to Jaron Anderson, who will be guilty of a double dribble. So number 13, Zach Spooner, will be inbounding it again to Reggie Roos. Jameer Cross guarding Milstead. And the great block by Trey Dill, recovered by Jameer Cross. And the pass mishandled by Tyler McCready.
Immediate timeout.
And we'll have a media timeout here. The Knights having a couple straight possessions, not able to get anything done on the offensive side of the floor.
I'm just going back to that last offensive possession where great block by Trey Dill. Jameer Cross had an opportunity there on the fast break, trying to get it to Tyler McCready. What the mistake that he made, he threw the ball right at his feet. The bounce pass landed right on top of the toes of Tyler McCready, and then it's going to go in front of him. If you're going to do that with a guy running full speed like Tyler McCready was in front of you, you have to bounce it in front of your own feet. Bounce it in front of your own feet is going to fall right into the lap of Tyler McCready. A tough pass to make, but if you know where to put the ball on the floor on a bounce pass, you can basically get it anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Now just under 4 minutes left to play in this second half. The Knights holding on to a 1-point lead, and the Seahawks making a surge of offensive plays and offensive opportunities for them in order to climb back in it. The Knights were up by 4, now again only up by 1. And the Seahawks will have the ball after that turnover by Jameer Cross and Tyler McCready. And I'll talk about some things that the Seahawks are doing. Justin Milstead, the player of the game here for both teams, having 21 points and 6 rebounds. He's having a great game for himself. He's 2 for 2 from three-point land, and it's just been all over the court for the Seahawks.
All over the court, Dawson, but 9 of his 21 points have come from the foul line. Take those 9 points away, what, he had 12? He has 12 points tonight, and then Matt Ayub, the person I want to really talk about, because Milstead has gotten his points from the line. He's able to draw those fouls. He's 5'10". He's shorter than basically everybody on the floor right now for the Knights. When he drives in, he's going to get the foul called in his favor more often than not. Matt Ayub, on the other end, 15 points, 1 of 6 from three-point land, so not the greatest numbers, but 6 of 13 from the field. He's found ways to slash through the Knights and get into the bucket.
An offensive foul. A block on number 4, Jordan Alston. A pivotal turnover for the Seahawks.
That's Alston's first foul, but more than that, Dawson, it gives the Knights an opportunity to further their lead. They're only up by 1. They'd like to be up at least with double possession game.
Alec Johnson in the paint with the right hand and in. Great assist from Tyler McCready. It's back to a 3-point lead. Naheed John with it. Reggie Roos, the screen from John. Top of the key for Zach Spooner. Dribbles on the left side, up with the left hand. And the foul will be called on Jaron Anderson on the shot.
And Dawson, that was desperation by Jaron Anderson. He nearly got beat off the feet. And so instead of trying to go for the block, he really threw his chest into him. Don't know exactly what he was thinking. But nevertheless, we know what Jaron Anderson's capable of. It's a shame to see him in a game like this. Really, he's underperforming. We've seen what he can do. We've seen him put up massive numbers. He has the ability to be a great player. He's one of the best players on this team. He needs to be able to put it together for this Knights team. Him, added with the great contribution of Trey Dill, Tyler McCready, and others, could propel this Knights team.
And speaking of Jaron Anderson, he is going to be taken out in favor of Kellen Winslow. As a second free throw for Zach Spooner will be up in just a few moments. The Knights still up by 2. The second free throw rolls in, making a 1-point game. And we'll see number 14, Matt Ayub, come into the game.
With the addition of Ayub, just putting in their best offensive option so far. Like we said before, he's found seams to the bucket.
Jameer Cross was doubled. And Milstead gets the layup to take back the lead. It's a pivotal turnover, cost the Knights the lead momentarily. Alec Johnson working with it. Left hand. Top of the key, Kellen Winslow, the three-pointer. No good, rebounded by number 14, Matt Ayub. Reggie Roos dribbled down the floor. No good, rebounded. At first by Trey Dill, but knocked out his hands.
It was just fought for by 2 Knights players.
Now rebounded by Trey Dill. A three-pointer no good by number 15, Justin Milstead. Alec Johnson with it. 2 minutes left to play. Knocked out of bounds by Reggie Roos as Alec Johnson was trying to get it to Jameer Cross. Now a timeout will be called here. A full timeout by Coach Greg Winslow, as Coach Winslow has a few words with the ref about some of the most recent calls that have been going on that he has not approved of.
Well, it's part of the territory, isn't it, Dawson? When you play the game of basketball, there's going to be calls you don't agree with. Unfortunately for Coach Winslow, it seems like every game there's always a number of calls he doesn't agree with. He's been thrown out in a number of games. We know that he can bring the fire to this Knights team. His guys buy in to what he does in practice and what he does during the game. Just unfortunately for him, the way he talks to the referees aren't exactly on his side most of the time. That might contribute to a number of calls, but in the end, you can't read minds, so you have no idea.
Definitely. Now again, just under 2 minutes left to play. The Seahawks just recently took back the lead, 68-67. It's been a barn burner here, and what a fitting place to have a barn burner than in the barn of Southern Virginia University Knights Sports Arena. There's been some great energy here brought by the fans. You see those in the mid-left part of your screen, those in the traffic cones. Fans like that have been bringing the energy to Knights Sports Arena all year long for both men's and women's basketball as the Knights break their huddle here.
Knights looking to come out and have the same effect. You've noticed it's been basically the same lineup for the past probably 10 minutes for the Knights. Coach Winslow knows, hey, this is working. They're not as tired as maybe as they should be. Some great conditioning being shown by these Knights players. Just need to hold it up for another 2 minutes.
Jameer Cross gets the entry pass by Alec Johnson. Jameer Cross left side, dribbles in to Tyler McCready. Almost shoots, but gets it down to Trey Dill. But he'll stay with the Knights. So Kellen Winslow inbounding it for the Knights. Alec Johnson up. No good. Rebound by Trey Dill. A strong rebound.
And Trey Dill really came out of nowhere on that last.
And no foul call as Tom McCready went up for the shot.
It looked like it was a foul because it looked like Derek Kearns has his hands all over Tyler McCready's arms.
And now the Seahawks take a 3-point lead here, just under a minute and a half left to play. Kellen Winslow corner. McCready with the left hand, no good. And no foul called yet again.
Well, they're right there. They're cutting under his legs as soon as he goes up. There has to be some kind of foul called next time Tyler McCready gets the ball down on low blocks.
Matt Ayub dribbling in, right? And a charging foul on Matt Ayub.
That could be pivotal in this game, Dawson. Giving the Knights back, you get into the head of the Seahawks with that charge call. Knights need to capitalize right now. You're down by 3. It's a one-possession game. This next possession is crucial for the Knights entering the final minute.
And Jaron Anderson checking in for the Knights in place of Kellen Winslow, who was not wanting to cut off. And Trey Dill inbounding it to Alec Johnson. Just under a minute left to play. Down by 3. Alec Johnson drills baseline. Up and in. 35 seconds left. Down by 1. And Jaron Anderson gets the intentional foul. Fouling number 14, Matt Ayub.
Foul is on number 21, Jaron Anderson.
So again, Matt Ayub will go to the line.
And Matt Ayub on tonight, he's 2 of 2 from the foul line. Hadn't had very many trips there. But again, 100%. He's a pure shooter for this team.
Some conversations taking place between the refs.
But also they're just trying to figure out whether Ayub is shooting 2 guaranteed shots or if he's going one-on-one from the line.
Well, I tell you what, it being senior night and the last game of the regular season for you in the barn, I don't know if this seems to have it any other way, a tight game opportunity here at Knight Sports Arena. With the energy that these fans are bringing. Things still getting sorted out between the refs and the scores table. And so it will be a 1-on-1 situation. Ayub the free throw. And that'll be up and good. It's a 2-point game.
It's also interesting to see what the Knights do here. With 31 seconds left to go, if he makes this shot, do you go for the 3 to try to tie it up, or do you drive the paint and hope you get an and one?
You've had players be able to make 3-pointers all game long, like Trey Dill, Alec Johnson. Jameer Cross is very capable of it. So I don't see why you wouldn't try a 3-pointer.
Well, Dawson, if you're going for a 3, why not have Sam Armstrong, your lead 3-point shooter on this team, in?
And Tyler McCready up, no good.
Foul is on number 1.
So Tyler McCready will go to the line for 2. Tyler McCready, the senior, has a chance to bring it within 1. First free throw rolls in and good. 72-70. Now number 13, Zach Spooner checks in for the Seahawks. Second free throw underway. And that finds its way in. So now the Knights are down by 1. Neil Davis checks in for Jaron Anderson.
And Neil Davis isn't in there to score the ball. He's in there to disrupt the offensive flow of the Seahawks, to get this ball back for the Knights. That's the sole purpose Neil Davis is in. He's going to go get it done.
Justin Milstead inbounding it for the Seahawks.
Dawson, that was pretty close to 5 seconds.
And Coach Greg Winslow telling the ref that everybody in the building was counting and they felt like they counted to 5. The ref thinking differently. So Reggie Roos will go to the line. The Knights down by 1. Timeout being called by the Knights. You have 16 seconds left. Reggie Roos has already been to the free throw line twice tonight. He's 2 for 2. He has 7 points. So more than likely, you're going to end up with a 3-point deficit after those free throws.
More than likely, but you never know what's going to happen. In the case that Roos misses, you have 16 seconds.
And one timeout.
And one timeout. You're down by 1. Hold the ball until probably the 8-second mark. Drive the lane, get sent to the line. They're going to guard you. You're only down by 1. And if you get the foul call on you, you get an opportunity at the line. And if you make the basket, you make the basket and you go up by 1. Then you got to play some stout defense and you limit them with this limited number of seconds at the end of the game. If he makes both of his shots, obviously you're going to have a 3-point deficit. You have a number of 3-point shooters. Put them in, put faith in them. We've seen Winslow hit a number of clutch threes today. Trey Dill's been on fire. Armstrong has the ability to knock it down from deep. Very interesting to see what Coach Winslow does coming into crunch time here against the St. Mary's Seahawks.
And the Knights right now having 3 players in double digits in scoring. Tyler McCready has 17, Trey Dill has 16, and Alec Johnson has 11. And the Seahawks have 2. Justin Milstead with 23 and Matt Ayub with 17. As Reggie Roos goes to the line for 2. First free throw, no good. Keeps it within 1.
The most it could be now, Dawson, is a 2-point game. A 3-pointer could win it for the Knights.
Second free throw underway. It's deafening here in Knight Arena. And that one's up and good. A 2-point game.
You don't need a timeout here if you're the Knights.
Coach Winslow calling a timeout in the nick of time. 9 seconds left. You're down by 2. Very critical timeout there as Jaron Anderson was in some deep trouble there in the corner.
Well, the Knights have one more timeout. So you have another opportunity to get the look you want. We saw in the... Actually, it just changed to nothing. We saw on the board that they had one. Now the Knights out of timeouts. Crucial next possession. This decides the game. You're down by 2. Do you go for the 3 and risk it? You've shot so far 36.4% from 3-point land. That's not great, but that's not the worst percentage you've ever heard of. Or do you drive the lane, try to get down, or try to tie it up with 2?
Basically, at this point, what I feel like would be the best is just take what the defense gives you. Don't try for anything specific. Take what the defense gives you. If you get an open 3-point opportunity for someone that has been hitting them all game long, take it. If you have an opportunity at the post with Tyler McCready, take it. If you have something open, take it. You have 9 seconds. You can't be picky. The first good shot you get, you should take. Because everybody on this floor right now is capable of making that shot. Man, what a game, Chris. I tell you what.
My heart's pumping, Dawson. The adrenaline is pumping through my veins, through everyone else's veins here at Knight Arena. Just so exciting. And you want that storybook ending. I want the Knights to go out and grab it.
Michael Newfield coming in for the Knights as Alec Johnson inbounds it.
Just a little bit more shooting with Newfield on the floor.
And 5-second violation on the Knights. We'll turn it over.
And Coach Winslow asking what everyone else is thinking. If it's 5 seconds there, why isn't 5 seconds 2 possessions ago when the Seahawks are trying to throw it in?
And as time's running out, the Knights finally get the foul on number 1, Reggie Roos. With 4 seconds left. As we see number 5, Phil Newsom checking in for the Seahawks.
And onto the line now, Reggie Roos. We've seen he was the last person to shoot those foul shots. He's 3 of 4. He could put the Seahawks up by 4.
First one's up and good.
If you're the Knights, you can still tie it with a 3.
So Phil Newsom checks in favor of number 13, Zach Spooner. Second free throw up. And that one's good. 4 seconds left. Alec Johnson for 3. No good. And so this back and forth game will go to the Seahawks of St. Mary's. The Knights fighting tooth and nail in that in that second half, scoring 40 points to St. Mary's 35. Some great play from the Knights, including Tyler McCready with 17, Trey Dill with 16, and then Alec Johnson with 11 here on senior night. A great effort again overall by the seniors of Southern Virginia University. We also some great outings from number 23 of St. Mary's, Justin Milstead with 23 points, Matt Ayer with 17, and Reggie Roos to close out the game with those 2 free throws. And going to make it unreachable for the Knights. So the story for the Knights this year is playing so well in tough games, tough matchups, but in the end, things don't work out. Some shots don't fall. Some situations just don't go well for the Knights. And you know what? Couldn't be more proud of this Knights team. Fought with all their hearts for this game. And again, thanks so much for joining us on the Knights Sports Network. Thanks so much for joining us, and go Knights.